What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another awesome video. So in today's video, we're back with another baby account series. This is going to be episode 5. Let's see what we can accomplish in today's episode. So I hope you guys are excited. If you are, you should drop a like, subscribe. Anyways, it's gonna get started. Alrighty, guys. So we are back, and just to kind of catch you guys up with what happened in the previous episode, basically we got I believe 2 or 3 legendaries actually in that episode. Looks like we're actually getting the best value offer here, which is 100 gems and 100,000 food for 199, which is not a bad offer, but it's also not the best value offer, I would say, or like the best offer, I should say. I would say, you know what I mean? Because like, yeah, for 199, the same price of that, you're getting 25 gems. You're getting 75 gems more, and you're getting 100k food. But I feel like when you slowly do develop and get, you know, kind of like progress in your game, food just doesn't become an issue for you anymore. It's not as difficult. It's not going to be as difficult, in my opinion. So you don't really have to worry about that too much. I would say, here's the thing. When you're saving up your gems, the best thing to do actually early on is to upgrade this. If you can get that 40 gems to kind of upgrade this, I would do it. Honestly, I would just spend all the 40 gems. Looks like monster wood, there's actually some gems I can actually get, but obviously I won't be able to get all 20 or so because there's chances of me getting food and gold. So maybe surveys. Actually, if you guys do have access to surveys, you can actually go ahead and do this. Look at this. You can get paid up to 228 gems at once, which is actually kind of cool. So your rewards, your data. Here, I would actually, for those guys that have access to survey and you see this, you're kind of going, you know, through this in the beginning. The best thing to do is like, you don't really have to give like your like correct birth date. The first 2 doesn't really matter, but the third one I feel like does, because if you're gonna say anything that's like below the age of 18, I feel like even the age of 21 it might matter, but especially 18. So you don't want to do something like anywhere around here, you know what I mean? You don't want to do this. I would probably go a little bit you know what I mean, a little bit down here. If you could do like one of the 19 somethings, that would be kind of nice, I would say. So let's do 1997. I think that's like 26, 27. I don't know, maybe older than that actually. But this part doesn't really matter, so you can just go ahead and select whatever. The zip code, I'm not sure if this actually really matters. I just make sure it's like valid or whatever. And then here, the salary part, it doesn't really matter, but I like to go with the highest one. This doesn't really matter either. I'm just gonna select a random one. I prefer not to answer. Looks like 2 gems for you. Wait, what the heck? Did I just get 2 gems just for I guess doing that? Yeah, you can basically kind of go through those surveys and you can get yourself some of those gems right there. Looks like I just kind of like signed up for it. I just did the beginning thing, just kind of get into the surveys, and I got myself 2 gems. So they just rewarded me with that, which is kind of cool. So I would recommend taking advantage of that. Also, another really good thing is, like I always tell you guys to participate in events, right? Bounty Hunt would be one of the best ones to be, in my opinion, to be honest, in my opinion, just because of the resources you're getting out of this, right? For example, if we can just try to land on one of these tiles, if we could just get lucky and get ourselves, let's see, I'm gonna go down here. There we go. Okay, lucky shot, perfect. It doesn't matter what you get, if it's a red bag, gold bag, or sorry, green bag, purple, whatever it is going to help you guys. Okay, it is going to be very helpful, because look at the resources you're getting. You're getting 65k gold, 20,000 food, and you're getting all these other stuff, right? So especially the food and gold, that's like the best thing, in my opinion, that you can actually kind of like get yourself. Like, look at this, another lucky shot, and looks like I got myself another one. So I just made 40k food plus like 80,000 gold or so. So I'm up 96k now. So what I can do with the 96k, I can actually feed up those epic monsters, or I can actually save that for my legendary monsters. I might actually do that, because that might be like a better idea, instead of just going all crazy and feeding up this guy just to later be replaced by a legendary, right? So you can invest and like feed up this monster if you'd like. Later on, it can help you out in team wars. So it's not a bad idea, but in my opinion, me personally, I'm actually gonna go ahead and just save it and then use it on one of these monsters here. So Rabuka looks like it's an attacker, extra churner. It just tells you in the description. This one's a nature attacker, also extra churns. This one's actually not bad. I remember Yedra being kind of decent. Imigbo is basically also an attacker, so we have all 3 attackers. So I really wish I got myself like a supporter or something. Supporters are always really, really good. No matter what level you are, it is always going to be really good. And they last you a very, very long time, unlike attackers. Attackers, I feel like eventually gets replaced. But supporters, like good supporters, those ones, they stick with you for a while. These breeding event monsters, basically, if you ever come across this, when you go to Breeding Mountain and you press on breeding events, basically, these monsters will come and go, you know what I mean? They will be replaced here and there. It is actually a nice way to get yourself one of these monsters whenever you do have the monsters. So if you tap on breed, it just tells you like the combination and stuff, right? You can get those monsters for the gems, but I wouldn't recommend doing that because these monsters are good for only collection purposes. So I wouldn't really suggest spending the gems, but if you do have the monster or later on you do end up getting it, it is a good idea to use it for these breedings and get yourself whatever monster. Even if it's good or bad, it's going to be good for your collection purposes. Another thing I actually want to kind of like point out, I think I've done this before, but in case if I haven't, on the right side where it says Gold Fever, so this one right here, there's going to be other challenges like this, similar to this. Basically, what this, how this actually works is like, you, for this one specifically, you collect gold. If you can collect 250,000 gold, you're going to get the 5 gems. You're going to do the 70k, you're going to get 5k food and 10k whatever. But these challenges aren't going to stay like this forever, okay? Now, 250,000, that's really, really low if you think about it. Because later on, there's going to be times like in the future, you're going to come across this when you level up like crazy. I think it's like over level 70 or something. You're going to have to collect like 50 million or maybe 100 million golds to just get yourself like 20 gems or something. So it's a lot of gold. Something to kind of do to avoid that is to not level up as much. So it is a good idea to, you know, kind of remain as low as you can, like, you know what I mean, in terms of your level. You don't want to level up too much, I would say, because it could be a bad idea. So that's just a tip I could give you guys. I'm actually going to switch out these monsters real quick. Whoops. I'm going to do Shanky here. I'm going to do Firestar. And I guess I'll do Rock Killer here. Let me just put these guys here. Oh, that was also level 7. But didn't really have to switch that up if I didn't want to. But let's get into a quick battle here. Looks like we are up against Firetar, Mudflow, and Panican. Oh, this should be a really easy battle. Stun. That just basically makes the monster lose a turn. But unfortunately, it kind of did miss. Dark against Earth. Heck yeah, let's eliminate him. Super, super strong. Blackout. Oh my gosh, that just destroyed my monster there. What's nice with this skill is that even though it's a 50% chance, you can kind of spam it. So sometimes you're going to get lucky where it lands. Sometimes it's not going to land. But it is a good skill to kind of like spam as much as you want. Now, I do really like this monster because he's not just, he can't just be used as an attacker, but he can also be used as a denier or supporter. Like you see those shield skills. I'm going to do another stun. And unfortunately, it didn't land. I do want to actually support the other monster, so let me put up a shield for him. 131 HP, nice. I'm gonna go ahead and deal some damage. Oh, and he still died even with the shield, but it's okay. Unlike Team Wars, PvP doesn't matter if your monsters die or not, you know what I mean? So if you lose a 1 or 2, it's completely fine. You're not really gonna like, it really doesn't matter as much. Same with like a adventure map, it does matter if your monsters do die because you're gonna get less stars if I'm not mistaken. Like there's a lot of factors with the adventure map, I would say, that plays, but for Team Wars you're going to lose a coin, so be careful with that. And then when it comes down to PvP, it doesn't really matter if you lose a monster or not. So you can lose as many as you want, just make sure you don't lose all of them because you're going to lose a battle, of course. Just make sure, you know what I mean, one at least one of them survives and you end up winning the battle with them. But anyways, looks like I got myself some gold. I'm gonna go into another one here real quick before I do get attacked, because before I do get attacked, I do want to switch it out. Oh wow, oh my gosh, what the heck was that? Can we even win this? Is this my first loss? This is my first loss. And yo, that dragon beast is one of the best monsters early on, guys. Let me tell you, that monster is insanely good in the beginning. Like, if you can get your hands on this guy, yo, he was literally my favorite monster when I was starting out. He like helped me out so much, guys. This guy right here, like, I'm telling you, the best, in my opinion, the best epic monster. I know there's other ones that are better than him, but in my opinion, just because of the experience I had, kind of like growing up and also playing the game, on my main account. This was like one of the early on monsters, and I have so much memories with this guy. It's kind of funny because now I see him after like years and years of not seeing him. I kind of miss the way he looked actually. Yeah, he was really like a goated monster. It's really easy to actually obtain him if I'm not mistaken. I might actually get my hands on him because again, he was literally, if I'm not mistaken, he was my first epic monster that I used for like a really long time. Where the heck is he? Oh, here it is, Dragon Beast. So all you need is a nature and earth. That is so easy. Let's go to breeding. So we need a nature. I really like, so when it comes down to breeding here, I know there's like double elements. I personally would recommend going with the single ones because you have a higher chance of getting what you want. Because if you're gonna do double, then there's a chance, like 50-50 chance, 50 chance of it being fire or nature that's gonna get mixed with whatever you're gonna mix with. But since that one was nature and earth, I can do primigenius maybe, nature and earth with this one. Now there's a chance that I might get like a rock killer since it's double earth, or I might get another monster that's like double earth. But let's go ahead and start breeding. Yep, there it is. Look at that. I'm pretty sure that's a rock killer if I'm not mistaken. How much you guys want to bet it's gonna be a rock killer? Here we go. Ready? 3, 2, 1, and yep, there it is. I told you. Let's go ahead and try repeating that. And it looks like this time actually 2 minutes and 50 seconds. If we go to the monsters here and go through the nature category, so let's try to look for nature and earth. And you guys, oh, there it is. It's gonna be a Tarzape. 100% it's gonna be a Tarzape. If it's not that, it could be a Raror. That's the only two options really. Besides those two, of course, it's definitely not a dragon beast, which is what we're looking for. All right, we're about to find out. Let's do this again. So I'm gonna go ahead and sell this Rockella because obviously I don't need it. I already have one, and it looks like it's actually Tarzape. I'm gonna try it one more time. Let's see, 15 seconds. That's definitely another Rockella. So you gotta keep on trying until eventually you do land it. Another thing you can do just to make sure, not guarantee, but like higher chances of doing it, is using single elements. Right now I'm using double elements, you know what I mean? That's gonna obviously screw up my chances, but to double up your chances, you would have to use like Trezard with Rockilla. I would say those two monsters would be really good together to use to kind of like breed that monster. Actually, another thing you can do is literally breed, hit on that breeding icon. So here's what I mean. If I go to actually let's do earth, because it might be easier to actually find them. There it is. You can literally tap on breed right here and look at this. So, oh, okay. It's actually Green Star with Tarzape. I thought it was going to be the other two, but if you, yeah. So basically Green Star and Tarzape, you guys can see there's chances of you getting Dragon Beast. It could be one of these other monsters, but yeah, there's a 25% chance of you getting actually Dragon Beast. So right now, all I need is Tarzape, which I already just got. And then Greenisar, you know what I mean? Obviously, you don't want to buy that with gems because it's easy to breed that guy. So both of them are readable and you can get that monster. So again, what I did was I went to the Monstergram, find whatever monster you want to breed. So let's say Bonbon here, and there's a breeding icon. Now, some of them won't have it. The ones that are breedable has this little breeding icon next to their like avatar. So I can find an example real quick. Majority of these guys do have like the breeding icon. Now let's say for example Dusty Fear doesn't have it, but the monster right next to it, Hyperion, does have it. You know what I mean? So you can see who's breedable and who isn't. This one is. So you just tap on the breeding icon. Looks like I need this guy. Oh wow, that looks very scary. And then we have this guy. He's a muscular built shark. But yeah, these two together can get you either Haku, and Hyperion. But yeah, basically that's how you kind of go with that. And try to swing it. You might be able to actually get lucky and get yourself that. One thing I am actually kind of excited for is Team Wars, because at level 16, if I'm not mistaken, you actually do unlock it. Yeah, there it is. So this right here is Team Wars, and at level 16, I'll be able to actually unlock it. For now, I'm going to chill out a little bit. I do want to actually kind of remove some more obstacles. So let me do some of the bigger pieces. So like 5k. I don't want to do these ones because I do need my gold. This one's 15k. Okay, 15k is not bad. Let's do it. It'll take like 8 hours. But I'm doing some of the bigger pieces. I still am saving my gold, most of it, so just so I can get that 2.5 million or whatever it is, and then I can actually hash that legendary monster, or one of the legendaries that I have. But that's gonna wrap it up for today's monster video. Hope you guys enjoyed today's episode, and if you guys did, make sure you smash the like button, subscribe if you're new around here, and that's gonna be pretty much it. Thank you all so much for watching, guys. So, peace out.